Entry number 0. My name is Jot, and I am a resident of Fort Nayers. It was suggested to me that I keep a personal journal, that it might help me start to feel a little bit better by expressing my feelings. I haven't quite felt myself since the loss of General Lionheart, not to mention the disappearance of the heroes who helped us to win the war. Lightwing has been trying his best to rebuild, even going so far as to call the town a fort now. I can tell he's trying to stay strong for the rest of us. I wish I could say the same for me. I've been sulking around since that battle. I know the General wouldn't want to see me like this. He'd probably tell me to have some dignity again. And that not everyone gets to be born a dragon. Maybe I need to talk to Lightwing about this. Now might be the best time.
Ouch!
If you didn't want it broken, then you shouldn't have charged the Hydra like you did. And without a fire sword so the heads don't grow back. Put your wing here. Thank you.
Our last fire sword broke.
Be thankful you didn't lose any pinion feathers or you'll be taking it on from the ground next time.
You're not even trying to be gentle.
You can't prove that.
Look, it's been taken care of. That's all that matters.
You say that as if you were still Captain Lightwing. However, you're not. Having a position of general means to be less reckless, because you're not just putting your life on the line. You're risking their lives as well. I didn't think I would need to repeat this.
What do you mean, repeat?
Repeat as in Lionheart would have taught you better.
Now I know you're not being gentle.
General.
Jot!
How are you feeling?
I'll be fine. Eventually.
I started writing like you said, and it made me realize I think we need to talk about them.
Bringing it up while I'm grounded, huh? You really did learn to pick your battles after all. Alright, now may be the best time to.
Thank you. I started thinking about General Lionheart while I was writing, and thinking about what he'd say if he saw us like this. Made me feel a little bit better.
I can only imagine what he'd say about this Hydra incident. There'd be some choice words thrown around, and half of them in Griffin.
I'll give you two some space. Jot, shock him if he tries getting up.
Yes, Nurse Shamrock.
She would hurt me more just to keep me here.
I think the point was paralyzation for a slow retreat, sir.
Maybe we should have her on the battlefront instead, then. Anyway, while I agree General Lionheart would be pleased with how the town and the war is faring, I don't think he'd be very happy with my recent conduct and authority.
You can't say that, Lightwing. You're half the reason we're doing as well as we are right now.
The other half being TikTok.
Do you feel bad?
Maybe if I'd been given the opportunity to apologize before everything that happened. I was such a fool.
We all have regrets, Lightwing. They both still cared for us, even if it wasn't obvious at times. You of all ponies should know that, and I don't know. I just get the feeling that TikTok, the Doctor, and Miss Hooves aren't completely gone.
What do you mean?
I can feel it. I don't know how, but I can. Yeah. Maybe they've been swept up in the stars and just have too many places to see and things to do right now.
It's a nice thought, Jot. It's a nice thought. You might want to try writing that one down.
You read my mind. Hold on. Let me get out my pen.
Not here. Shamrock won't like ink on the sheets.
Oh.
I remember all those fights over TikTok's failed inventions, when that's exactly what saved us all in the end. If you're right, Jot, and TikTok is still out there, I'd have liked him to see how much of a positive impact he's had on Fort Nayers.
Why, I bet he could have had a whole stack of blueprints for different gadgets we could have used.
This is true. This is true. Jot, you're a genius!
Beg your pardon, sir? While I appreciate the compliment, especially coming from you.
Oh, don't be like that. All formalities are off until I recover. And besides, you're my little brother.
Well, okay then. What?
If one of TikTok's inventions worked in our favor, then you're absolutely right. I bet his house has dozens of other blueprints, and if we can find some pony who can interpret as well as build them, then we'll have those monsters screaming for the hills!
Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe we could find a replacement for fire swords.
That's a possibility. I was thinking a little bigger than that. We'll just have to stop by TikTok's house and go through his stuff.
I swear on Celestia's crown, Lightwing, if you step one hoof out of that bed.
On second thought, I could use a nap. Why don't you go on ahead without me?
Well, enjoy your nap then, General. I'm stopping by TikTok's.
Don't get buried!
I thought he was joking. How much stuff does TikTok have in here? What are most of these blueprints even about? What good is sacrificing bread? That's odd. His tools are missing. Not all of them, just his favorites. I knew it. He's out there somewhere. He must have gone with the doctor and... Lady Bright Eyes. I should keep looking. What's his box? It's locked, but I don't see a keyhole. Maybe the General knows something.
Jot, did you find something? What's that?
I'm not sure. It's locked without a keyhole. I think you might know something.
Let me see.
Yeah, do you know what it is?
It was one of his first inventions. He made it so I couldn't touch his stuff. Little did he know I figured it out after watching him. There we go.
What's in it?
A piece of paper?
Look, there's two. One of them looks like TikTok's notes.
Odd piece of paper. Shows high level of resistance towards tearing and wards off water and other destructive material. Does not taste like any common parchment. Odd writing in unknown language. Will attempt to decipher in time. Update. Common symbol appears that I have concluded represents an H of some kind. Using this, I may be able to crack more of this code. Further update. After years of examining this parchment, I have concluded a crude translation of this page. It appears to be a table of contents. Conclusion? This page is related to an entire tome. Properties of this paper suggest the book as a whole is magical. If this war would ever end, perhaps look further into finding more pages? Ask brothers to join? Maybe amends can be made once Lightwing feels edified for his justice?
Lightwing? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Dust?
No. Not fine. He just had to go and write something like that. I mean, he was trying, and I just kept pushing him away. And now it's too late to fix anything!
General, calm down. Look, we may not have TikTok here, but we can fix things. With his inventions and these notes, I think he's onto something here.
What's all the commotion? It's late and we have patients trying to sleep.
Sorry, Nurse Shamrock. I went by TikTok's house and I found this strange box with all these pages inside of it. He's been working on decoding them, and I guess they're torn from maybe a spell book of some sort. He had been debating on going out and finding the others.
Not sure what good a dusty old spell book can do for us.
Oh, I beg to differ, General. The writings on these pages are ancient. They could belong to something powerful and completely unheard of. What I wouldn't give just to see a glimpse of this tome.
Sorry to burst your bubble, Jot, but I don't think that's going to happen. What TikTok translated is already too vague on its own.
Yeah, but...
We can look for something else in his house later.
I want to look for it.
What? Come again?
I want to look for this book, sir. On my own. General, I want your permission for a temporary retirement.
Retire? What are you talking about? We're still at war! I can't have you go running off looking for a book that we only have the table of contents to, Jot!
Jot, sweetie, I think the General has a point. Besides, where would you go the moment you're past our town? What would you do for food? You can't fight. Just getting past the swamp would be difficult enough, hon.
This is just something I have to do. Lightwing, between the two of us as brothers, I can't be here any longer. It's just been too much lately. I'm sorry if it's selfish, but I need this more for myself than the town. I'll go with or without your blessing, but I'm asking for your permission because I want to leave on good terms.
Jot, as family, I want to see you follow your desires. This is the most excited I've seen you in a month. But as a general, I just can't allow it.
I see.
But if I happen to hear that maybe with the monster population dropping, new routes through the swamps would need to be scouted. And who better to scout these new routes and potential towns to trade with than my sneakiest soldier?
You mean Yes, sir. You can count on me. I need to get prepared.
It's still 7 hours until moonrise, Jot. Get some rest first. Are you sure about this? He was never a fighter.
I meant what I said. Nobody is better at sneaking past monsters than he is. He's spent a lot of time weaving between battlefields, after all.
I suppose that's true. But how will he survive?
I could always send my survival expert to aid him.
There must be something about this. Maybe something missed in TikTok's notes. I gotta think of something. But maybe Shamrock was right. I should get some rest. Think of something in the evening. Wait, that smell. I know that smell. Lemon juice? That's invisible ink. TikTok must have used it to write more notes. Let's see. Heat. I need some heat. The sun? No, it's hidden by the clouds. Let's see. Heat. Candle? I would risk burning it. Not hot enough. Never could breathe fire. Maybe a good thing in this case. Maybe I can sit on it? No. Come on, think. Anything that can help. What do I have? Hey, maybe this empty jar? Now I can safely use a candle. There, that should do it. Ooh, hot. Ah, there we go. Let's see what his hidden notes say.
If you are reading this, then I have likely met my demise, or have otherwise been forcibly denied tracking down the reader of these notes. By all logical assumptions, it's most likely Jot or some type of relative, as he or they are the only ones with a particular nose for parchment that could tell this was hidden.
How flattering.
I made a huge discovery to the secrets of this paper. It appears to be equipped with a failsafe. Reading aloud the table of contents will cause a mark to appear directing to the contents that were read. At least this is what can be assumed. This was discovered when I deciphered enough to fully read a chapter reference. If, for whatever reason, I am unable to pursue this quest, then I shall provide a guide to be able to translate to what I have deciphered so far. It is incomplete, but my logic was that if I discovered at least one additional page, it would allow me to delve further into understanding this odd language. I will, however, provide a caution as well. Logic states that this tome was deliberately torn apart, as suggested by the failsafe to reunite it. One thing that was made clear. Someone did not want someone to get their toes, claws, talons, etc. on it. Whatever's in this book is powerful, and some may feel it's best to leave it be. But should you insist on continuing, then for benevolence or for malice, I wish you luck.
Wow, thank you, TikTok. This may be even easier than I thought. Oh boy, this is exciting. I don't know if I can sleep today. Or maybe I can. I'm getting so tired that I've been talking to myself this whole time. Those mosquitoes are murdering this summer. Ow! Okay, I'm almost out of the swamp. Once I get to the plains, I'll be fine. Of course, I should have had trouble by now. If I can just squeeze myself into this tree trunk.
Jot, sweetie, come on out. You're okay.
Nurse Shamrock, what are you doing out here?
The general sent me? After I volunteered, of course.
He thinks I need a babysitter?
He thinks you need a companion, and I agree. You're still very young, Jot, and very capable of taking care of yourself, but I believe you need a guide.
There's Shamrock.
Shamrock will do nicely out here, dear.
Shamrock, I appreciate the offer, but I have maps and a few bits. I don't think a guide will be necessary.
So, are you saying you're going to send me back through this monster-infested swamp by my lonesome?
I guess not.
I would hope so. Well, come on then. Be prepared to change your sleep schedule around, young dragon, for the rest of Equestria lives in daylight.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, who?
Yes, Shamrock.
Where was it you were planning on heading to, anyway?
Oh, you'll love this. I found some hidden notes by TikTok that showed us how to translate all he's found. Watch what happens when I read this part. Matlava. He found out reading from the table of contents will point in the direction, always the same. He concluded that it must lead to that chapter, though he only found out enough to read one part of it.
My word. Well, that's impressive, isn't it? TikTok always was quite bright, if a little strange. It seems to be pointing south, but there isn't much more south than some drylands and the changeling forest beyond those.
That makes sense. These chapters are probably going to be hidden in most of the unmapped areas of Equestria and beyond.
Oh, that reminds me. Lightwing sent me here with a means to contact him. He's in my saddlebag. Flutter? Fluttermouse? Wake up. The sun's gone down.
A messenger bat?
Mm-hmm. Isn't he cute? Fluttermouse here will be taking our letters to Lightwing and then back again with any news the General may have for us. I'm sure you won't have a problem with doing most of the writing, Jot.
You have to ask?
Alright then, let us be on our way. I'm sure anything we encounter in the Changeling Forest could never compare to our nares.
Well, I may not be able to fight, but I can outrun a centaur.
Good. Less patching up for me to do if we come across a young dragon-eating chimera.
That is an oddly specific diet.